Welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into the wisdom of the ancients to tackle our modern challenges. In our last session, Fight Your Fears, the Stoicism of Marcus Aurelius. We explored how this ancient philosophy teaches us to face our fears with courage and composure. We uncovered how Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and a Stoic, used philosophical principles to maintain his poise in the face of internal and external turmoil. Today, we're building on that foundation. It's one thing to fight fear, but it's another to push beyond the limits we set for ourselves. Each of us has boundaries, some self-imposed, others shaped by our environments. But what if we could extend those boundaries? What if we could reach beyond what we thought was possible? That's the power of Stoicism, and that's what we're going to explore today. In this video, Overcome Your Limits, Stoicism. We delve into how Stoic principles can be our allies in not just managing but actually overcoming the personal and professional limits we face. Whether it's breaking out of comfort zones, surpassing performance plateaus, or transforming barriers into stepping stones, Stoicism offers timeless strategies that can help us thrive. Join me as we unpack these strategies, grounded in Stoic wisdom, to help you break the chains of limitation. Let's discover together how to expand our capabilities and truly master the art of living well. So, if you're ready to challenge what you think is possible and push your boundaries, this journey is for you. As we continue from our introduction, let's dive deeper into the core of Stoicism, a philosophy that isn't just about enduring hardship but transforming it into a catalyst for personal growth. At the heart of Stoic philosophy are three fundamental principles that guide the Stoic way of life. First is the focus on what we can control. The Stoics teach us that our power lies not in the external events themselves, but in how we respond to them. Our perceptions, our decisions, and our actions are within our control. Everything else lies outside it. This distinction is crucial because it frees us from unnecessary distress about things we cannot influence. The second principle is the acceptance of what we cannot control. Life will throw challenges at us, loss, disappointment, failure, that we can do little to prevent. Stoicism doesn't teach us to be passive but rather to accept these events with composure and detachment. This acceptance isn't about resignation but about recognizing the natural flow of life and finding peace in it, regardless of circumstances. The third and perhaps most profound principle is the pursuit of virtue. For Stoics, virtue isn't just moral righteousness but encompasses wisdom, justice, courage, and moderation. Living virtuously means living in harmony with reason and is considered the highest good. Every decision is an opportunity to practice virtue, making each moment meaningful. Now, let's connect these principles to the idea of overcoming limits. Stoicism introduces a powerful concept, viewing obstacles as opportunities. This is not about wishful thinking but a practical approach to challenges. What if every setback, every barrier, was an opportunity to practice these principles? A difficult project at work is a chance to demonstrate perseverance and wisdom. A personal conflict becomes a chance to practice patience and justice. Even a physical limitation can deepen our understanding of our own capacities and resilience. Imagine transforming every obstacle into a step on the path to personal excellence. This is the Stoic exercise of turning the obstacle upside down, extracting value from adversity. Marcus Aurelius himself said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This profound insight suggests that the very things we perceive as barriers are, in fact, the path to growth. As we move forward in our exploration, keep these principles in mind. Think about how you can apply them not just in moments of crisis but in everyday challenges. How can focusing on what you control, accepting what you can't, and pursuing virtue help you move beyond your current limits? Let's delve into these questions as we look at specific Stoic techniques that can aid us in this endeavor. Continuing our journey into Stoicism and its practical techniques for overcoming limits, let's explore two powerful practices that can profoundly change how we approach life's challenges: negative visualization and voluntary discomfort. Negative visualization. preparing for the worst. The first technique we'll examine is negative visualization, an ancient Stoic practice that involves imagining the worst-case scenario in any given situation. While this might sound pessimistic, its purpose is profoundly optimistic. By contemplating the potential negatives, we reduce the fear and anxiety associated with them. It's about mental preparation, allowing us to face possible outcomes without panic, and maintaining our composure. Imagine you're about to give a crucial presentation at work. The worst-case scenario might be that your presentation is not well received, or you forget your lines. By visualizing these outcomes beforehand, you mentally prepare for them. You can think through how you would handle such situations, perhaps by preparing answers to tough questions or having backup notes if you lose your place. This practice not only reduces the fear of these events occurring but also prepares you to handle them effectively if they do. It's about transforming fear of the unknown into a proactive strategy. Voluntary discomfort, embracing challenge. The second technique, voluntary discomfort, involves deliberately placing oneself in uncomfortable situations to build resilience and adaptability. This could be as simple as taking cold showers, fasting, or engaging in rigorous physical activity, or as complex as tackling projects that stretch your abilities or speaking up in meetings when you usually remain quiet. The idea here is to acclimatize oneself to discomfort, to make it a familiar companion rather than something to be avoided. For instance, if one regularly takes cold showers, the initial shock of cold water becomes less daunting over time, training the mind to remain calm and collected in uncomfortable situations. This directly translates to better emotional regulation when faced with unexpected challenges in life or work. Voluntary discomfort teaches us that discomfort is not something to be feared but a signal of growth. It's an exercise in self-control and courage, pillars of Stoic virtue. By intentionally stepping into difficult situations, we expand our comfort zones and decrease our sensitivity to discomfort, making us more resilient and prepared for life's inevitable hardships. Both negative visualization and voluntary discomfort are about more than just enduring hardship. They are about transforming hardship into a tool for personal development. These practices train us to remain focused and effective regardless of external circumstances, empowering us to overcome not just minor daily hurdles but also significant life challenges. As we move into applying these Stoic techniques, think about areas in your life where you can begin to implement negative visualization and voluntary discomfort. Perhaps start with something small, like a challenging conversation you've been avoiding or a new skill that you've been hesitant to learn because of the fear of failure. With each step, you'll be building a more resilient, more Stoic approach to life's limits. Now that we've explored the powerful Stoic techniques of negative visualization and voluntary discomfort, let's turn our attention to practical applications. How can these methods help us overcome specific limits we face in our lives? Let's delve into some examples and draw inspiration from historical figures who have embodied Stoic principles to transcend their boundaries. Public speaking fears. Public speaking is a common fear, a limit that many of us grapple with. Imagine preparing for a major presentation. The thought of speaking in front of a crowd can be paralyzing. This is where negative visualization comes into play. By envisioning the worst possible scenarios, forgetting your speech, facing a tough audience, or technical difficulties, you mentally prepare for these eventualities. You develop strategies to handle these situations, keeping notes handy, practicing responses to potential questions, or rehearsing until you're confident in your material. Consider the example of Winston Churchill, a historical figure known for his powerful speeches. What many don't know is that Churchill initially struggled with public speaking. He practiced incessantly, imagining every possible scenario that could go wrong and preparing accordingly. This relentless preparation, akin to negative visualization, allowed him to transform his initial fears into one of his greatest strengths. Procrastination. Procrastination is another significant limit that many face. The key to overcoming procrastination lies in embracing voluntary discomfort. Often, we procrastinate because the tasks at hand seem daunting or uncomfortable. By deliberately engaging in small acts of discomfort, we train our minds to handle these tasks more effectively. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most prominent Stoic philosophers, offers an excellent example here. As a Roman emperor, his responsibilities were immense. Yet, he disciplined himself to rise early, tackle the most challenging tasks first, and confront discomfort head-on. His meditations reveal his practice of voluntary discomfort, emphasizing action over complacency. By adopting a similar approach, breaking tasks into manageable parts, and confronting them with discipline, we can overcome procrastination. Athletic performance. Athletes often face physical and mental limits, making them prime candidates for applying Stoic principles. Take the case of Michael Phelps, the Olympic swimmer. Phelps is known for his rigorous training regimen, which includes a form of voluntary discomfort. He trains under difficult conditions, swimming in cold water, using restrictive gear, to build resilience. This training prepares him for any eventuality during competitions, allowing him to perform at his peak regardless of conditions. Moreover, Phelps practices a form of negative visualization. He visualizes not just his success but also potential setbacks like false starts or equipment failures. By mentally preparing for these scenarios, he reduces anxiety and increases his confidence, enabling him to overcome the limits of fear and uncertainty. Historical leaders. Historical leaders often faced immense challenges and used Stoic principles to overcome their limits. Nelson Mandela, for example, spent 27 years in prison under harsh conditions. Yet, instead of succumbing to despair, Mandela embraced his circumstances with a Stoic mindset. He focused on what he could control: his thoughts, his attitude, and his actions. By accepting his situation and maintaining his virtue, he emerged from prison not just unbroken but stronger and more determined to lead his country to freedom. Mandela's ability to find strength in adversity is a testament to the power of Stoic philosophy. He exemplified the Stoic belief that obstacles are opportunities in disguise, using his imprisonment as a period of reflection and personal growth. Applying Stoicism in everyday life. Let's bring these lessons into our daily lives. Consider the small, everyday limits you face. Perhaps it's the challenge of staying focused in a distracting environment. By applying negative visualization, you can prepare for potential distractions, envisioning interruptions and planning ways to maintain focus despite them. This might involve setting clear boundaries or creating a structured work environment. Or consider the discomfort of physical exercise. Embracing voluntary discomfort, you might push yourself slightly beyond your comfort zone each day, gradually building endurance and strength. This not only improves physical health but also fosters mental resilience. The beauty of Stoicism lies in its practicality. It offers tools that are not just theoretical but actionable, helping us navigate and transcend the limits we encounter. Whether it's public speaking, procrastination, athletic performance, or the daily challenges of life, Stoic techniques of negative visualization and voluntary discomfort provide a roadmap to overcoming these boundaries. By adopting the Stoic mindset, we turn obstacles into opportunities, embracing challenges as pathways to growth. As Marcus Aurelius wisely noted, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Each limit we face is not a barrier but a stepping stone to our personal and professional growth. As we continue to explore Stoic philosophy, remember that overcoming limits is not about eliminating challenges but transforming our relationship with them. By doing so, we cultivate a resilient and virtuous life, aligned with the highest principles of Stoicism. As we conclude this exploration of Stoicism and how it can help us overcome our limits, let's recap the key points we've discussed. We began by understanding the core principles of Stoicism, focusing on what we can control, accepting what we cannot, and the pursuit of virtue. We then delved into key Stoic techniques like negative visualization and voluntary discomfort, which help us prepare for and embrace challenges. We saw practical examples of how these techniques can be applied to overcome specific limits, from public speaking fears to procrastination, and drew inspiration from historical figures like Winston Churchill, Marcus Aurelius, Michael Phelps, and Nelson Mandela. Finally, we discussed daily Stoic practices such as journaling, negative visualization, voluntary discomfort, mindfulness, and daily affirmations, which can help build a resilient and Stoic mindset. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What challenges are you facing that you think Stoic principles could help with? Have you tried any of the techniques we discussed today? Share your experiences and thoughts in the comments below. Your stories can inspire and support others on their journey to overcoming limits. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell so you never miss an update. Stay tuned for more content on practical philosophy and how ancient wisdom can help us navigate modern life. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Keep pushing your boundaries and living virtuously. Until next time,